Hello everybody, thanks for joining us on this Monday. It's me, Simon from AVAGO-INK Designs. There's loads of comments on there, which is nice and busy. Sorry I wasn't here last week, there was some maintenance work to do. I hope you all caught the Creating Craft show though. It was very nerve-wracking for me, but I think I did a good job. So I hope you all caught that anyway. If you haven't already, what we would suggest as well, if you want to like and subscribe to the channels, then you'll get all the notifications. So just hit that bell and then you'll keep up to date with all the information that you need to know. I believe you also get an alert as well just before we go live in case you forgot about it. So also leave a comment as well and then you can share your thoughts, what you think for the demos, and it gives some people some inspiration too. So that's lovely. So loads of comments. You can see you all chatting amongst yourselves there. Hi everybody, hi Roxy Lee, May, Elizabeth, Phil Bags. Yeah, nice to see you all. Let's get started. So today I'm going to do the two demonstrations that I didn't get to finish on Create and Craft because I prepped them all. I think it'd be a shame not to use them somewhere. So the first one we're going to be using is this round card, which I think is a little bit different. So I've put that there for you. So it's a nice round card, a little bit quirky. I'm using them characters and going to also be using the stencil that's new from this collection. So let's start. So what I did to start off with is I got one of my square cards and I laid the die over, so it's just got an edge showing there. So I'm sure some of you will have done this already, but just in case anybody doesn't know how to alter the shape of a card, you put it over, it says on the right corner, there you go. The actual fold in the card, you want to overlap it onto there. And then when you cut it out, you will get this kind of shape. So I'll move that one away. And you can see it's joined exactly where you want it to join. And then what I've done, if you can see on this corner, this side, sorry, just cut a little bit off. And that means that when we stand it up, so if I go back to the other side, it won't rock. It'll keep it steady. Which, for some of you might want it to rock, but for this I don't like it to rock, so I want to make it steady. So that's my card base started off already. And then I'm going to just build it up a little bit now and get this ready. So I found some nice paper, quite a glossy paper this one, but it picks up some really bright colours. And I've just simply cut the exact same circle out so I can mat it over that bit. And it'll also hide that bit that we left the hinge on. Let's get that stuck down to start with. I'm just going to put it exactly over that card blank. Make sure that's stuck down well. Hi Amanda, you're not late, don't worry. I'll put that to one side. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to stencil the centre for this card. So I'm just going to bring in some paper and I'll be using the swirly stencil, which is one of the new ones in the actual collection that we've just launched. So it really draws your eye to the centre, and that's what we're going to use it for today. So I'm going to get a piece of stamping card. Hello from California. Oh, that's somewhere I've never been. That's exciting. I wonder what it's like over there, the weather. I'm just going to use some masking tape just to put this onto my card. So what I did is I selected 3 distressed oxides that kind of go with this kind of paper that I'd selected. So I've got like a pinky colour, a purple and a green, just so I can pick out these colours, okay? So it's peacock feathers, wilted violet and picked raspberry. We'll just take those lids off. And I always tend to start with the lightest colour and then work outwards from there. So I'm not going to be too precise. I'm just going to use the sponge dabber just to get them little circles and just go outwards of that. And I'm going to do it like in almost like a propeller, just so there's got 3 clear areas where that colour is going to be. I'm just pushing it in, and I'm just going to use the actual sponge now just to soften them down towards the centre. There we go. And I'm now going to swap over to a different colour. Just take my sponger. And we'll go for this wilted violet. And like I say, you could do this at any colours that you want to at home. I just thought this went well with this backing paper that I'm using. Are you all been crafting today then? You got your drink ready? I had a lovely day last week actually. I got some of my crafting products out and had a good play around. Best thing to do when you have an unofficial day off, isn't it? It's nice. There we go, and now we're going to change to that last colour. Just move them two out of the way. And this is the green peacock feather. And I'm kind of doing them in this kind of light formation so they don't overlap too much, so you get really crisp variations of these three colours. But that's the one thing with the distressed oxide, is you can overlap slightly and still get them crisp colours as well. Just make sure that's gone into all them areas. There we go. I'll move them away now. I'm just going to take that stencil off. That to one side, I'll clean that later. You can see if I hold that up for you, it's really brought into play those colours that we're going to be using on his backing paper. Just make sure that's not glossy. So I think they've got a good match there really. Right, I'm just going to blast this off with the heat gun, just so that the distressed oxide doesn't smudge. So May says she loves the colours. Yeah, I think they're a nice mix, these. Could quite easily do it though in like blues, yellows and greens. I think it'd look really nice as well. Maybe make it a little bit more masculine. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that sheet of paper. We don't need that now. And then what I've got here is just a slightly smaller circle die, so we can actually step that down. So I'm going to put this over this area. I'm just going to work out where I want it. I still want that centre circle to be there. I'm just going to use a little bit of masking tape. Just to hold that in place. I'm just going to put that through the die cutter. I love to see all your chatting going on. It's nice to see somebody joining me today. Did anybody catch the show that I'm creating craft? Don't worry, Di, that you're a bit late. You've not missed anything. It's always available on recap anyway, isn't they? Isn't it, I mean? I'm just going to pull that out. Move that to one side. So now we've got a centre for his card. So I'm just going to put this on the card ready. I'm going to use some foam pads just to give it a little bit more height. So. It's one of them stencils as well, this, that you could use it with any stamps that you've got at home. I think it'd look really nice with some flowers around it. I'm just going to put a few more in the centre, just so it doesn't sag. Oh, thank you, Roxley. I was very starstruck, I've got to say, seeing all them people I've seen on TV all them years. I'm going to place that down in the centre. And then I've also pre-cut just a smaller circle and a sentiment. So on this one we're going to be using that I'll be there for you. I'm going to put that into the centre. I'm going to mat it onto this one first of all. And then we're going to raise this up with a few pads. So David says, I did well on creating craft, and you and Janet were both watching me. Oh, that's nice to know. With it being circle, I'm just going to make sure I get it the right way around for the sentiment. So I know that's the bottom. I'm going to pop that there in the centre. So that's our card blank finish now. I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to get some of our little characters out now. And just for speed, I'm just going to use a bit of stamping card. I'm going to get that. I've chosen these 3 little owls because they look like a little family. I'll put them all on there. Get my stamping platform. I'll just pick those up. And I'm going to use my VersaFine Black. This seems to be my go-to pad, this one, so I always get a good result with the image. Give that a good press down. We'll go in again just so we get all that detail. There we go. They've got lovely big eyes, these characters as well, aren't they? Really lend themselves well if you want to put like your glossy accents on or things like that. I'm just going to blast this with a heat gun as well, just so it doesn't react with the water in a second. That's brilliant. So Di, is it purchase some owls? You'll have to share your makes when you start making things with them. Be nice to see what you make as well. So I'm going to use this this fan pan of colours, but there's a really good colour mix in this new one collection. Really it'll help your owls pop. It's the one that we had on the Create and Craft show as well. So let's do this big fella at this side. I'm just going to turn this around a little bit for me. Let's have a look at some of these colours. Give them a purple stomach. And you could use this on watercolour paper, but just for speed, I'm using it on some of this stamping card that I've got left over. You could also use your Copics as well, couldn't you? I'll just drag that down. This turquoise, I like this colour. I'll give them a completely different. Pick out his feathers a little bit better. I'm going to use it around his eyes. You can make these owls as bright and colourful as you want to, really. They're very pigmented as well, so you can go in as dark as you want to. Quite like bold colours myself, so if you want to mute it down, you could always do that as well. And I've got a slightly darker purple now. I'm just going to go around some of these areas that want to be a little bit darker and just brush this out. There we go. got his wing look. There you go, I'm happy with that little fella. So I've already pre-coloured the other two out already, so what we'll do is just cut this one out. So let's give him a quick blast with a heat gun. Ooh, forgot where I put it. The big one has a kind of sad face. I know, he does, doesn't he? But the others cheer him up, I've got to say. There we go. I'll just put that over there ready. And I'm just going to run that through the die cutting machine. So Elizabeth says they really cheer her up. I think they're really versatile though, aren't they, as well, the colours that you can use. And Roxley wants some of the dinosaurs. Well, they could all be friends, couldn't they? Dinosaurs and owls. There we go. That's our little fella. Just move that to one side out of the way. I'm just going to clean my workstation down a little bit. So that's the big one that we've just done. Got like lovely purple and green tones to it. And then I've also pre-coloured a little one. And I've done the small one as well with a little purple heart. And I love this one, so it's just love it, holding that love heart. And I think you could have had a bit more time to put some glitter on that, or even some bright red sparkle. So I'm now just going to use some foam pads to build this up. So I'm going to put this one at this side. So I think he looks the best there. Make his little wing pop off the edge a little bit. And then the other two, I could have two at this side, or I could have different combinations, but I think I'm going to put them both at this side on this one. Let's get a pad behind the purple one. And then I'm just going to get my scissors to trim this last pad down once it's a bit big. There we go. I'll stand that all up for you. So it's a little bit different take on a card, but it's circular. As you can see, it's just a really good way of getting a sentiment into the centre and using them characters just to make it a little bit more crisp. And you can make this in any colour tones that you want, it'd really work. But that stencils, I love it. I think it really draws attention to that. I'll be there for you. So that's his first demonstration today. So what we've got now is a VT of some owl samples that we put together. Some that you may have seen before and some that I'm sure you haven't. And we're going to run that while we're set up for the next demonstration. So I'll be back in 2 seconds for you. If you've got any questions as well, just keep asking. I will try and answer them. And if I don't do them in the show, I'll get back to you soon. But I'll be back in 2 seconds when we run the VT. See you soon. and welcome back. Did you enjoy that little video? It's the first time I've seen it really because it's been such a blur. I've been everywhere since then. But it's nice, a nice example isn't it, of different take on all them samples that you can make. Really thanks the design team for helping me out with those because I couldn't have done all them together. I can see from your comments that you're loving the colours and the samples that you've seen as well, so that's nice. Right, so this is my second card today. So this is one that I was going to do on Create and Craft as well. And this is just showing you how you can alter the front of the card. So you can see it's a cutaway card, so you've only got half of the actual front panel there and a nice area to write on in the back. So I'm going to show you how to use this, how to make this one now, alright? So I'll pop this down to one side. What I did first of all is I took a 6x6 card and I've just chopped a panel off this edge so we've got a smaller actual blank size, so we've got that overlap. And then I've already pre-cut the back panel, so I'm just going to glue these into place. Get it the right way around. It's a really good stencil, isn't it, Susan? I've got to say it's one of my favourites at the moment. It looks really effective, the stencil, as well on the other card that we've just seen, if you do it only half off the page. And I found this paper for this card, which I think reminds me a bit of like pink wafers. You know what you used to have when you were a kid? Or if you're on Slimming World, because they always tell you to have pink wafers on Slimming World. I kind of thought it went with that kind of biscuity kind of theme, and that black really makes that pop. So then I'm going to close this up. I've got a black piece which I'm going to mount onto that open bit. So let's get that into position first of all. Just pop that into place. And then what I did find is I found this kind of like sprinkly kind of background, which is a little bit like the die that we sell in the collection. But I didn't think it kind of related itself to the card I wanted to make. I wanted to add a bit more to it. So what I decided to do is use some of the little stamps that you can get. So just bring them across. I've got some little biscuits and cakes and teacups, and I'm just going to stamp them over this so it just actually breaks it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more coffee orientated. And the colours I got for that, I've got some cracked pistachio green, worn lipstick, fossilised amber, and then we're just going to borrow the purple from the previous demonstration, because I think they're a good combination mix and go really well with all these little sprinkle colours that are in here. So, let's start off. You don't need many, and if you're going to do it this way like I'm doing, I've cut it already to size, just make sure you stamp off the edge, then it doesn't look so floaty. So I'm going to stamp a few of these, just to break this pattern up. You don't need too many. There we go. Take that one off. I'm going to swap to a different colour. Let's go for some green cake. And because I'm using that distress oxide, it does sometimes give like a bit of a rustic impression. I kind of like that. I could have always used my distress inks if I wanted a bit crisper, but for this I wanted to do it like this. And then let's go for a round biscuit. Use that darker purple now just to make it stand out. There's some questions there, let's have a look. So somebody's got pink biscuits, wafers, they're their favourite. I get sweet chocolate biscuit. Yeah. The owl with its head on its side, does it stamp like that, or have you cut its head off to get an angle? Which one are we referring to? Can't think. I don't know which one you're referring to on that, Elizabeth. The owl with its head on its side, does it stamp like that? Or I wonder, is it the one from the video that you've just seen? I think it might be this one that you're referring to. Is it this one? You have to let me know if that's the one that you meant, Elizabeth. If not, message me and I can always reply to you on the AVAGO page. But it does stamp that way because it's like perched on its cup and it's trying to work out what to do in the morning. That's what it's doing. So I'm just going to swap this now for this last cup. I'm going to use this worn lipstick, and this will just finish off this kind of colour palette that we're trying to put together. There we go. So it's taken it from a piece of, well, it was okay, the paper, but it didn't kind of do the job I wanted it to do. Let's move that down there. And then if we get that stuck, well, I'll just put that back up so I don't get ink everywhere. I'm just going to map this back onto the front of the card. I'm trying to read all your comments now, they're going too fast for me. Let's have that down so I don't get ink all over it. You can see now them teacups, it's like teacups and biscuits, it's really brought them two pieces of paper together. So I'm just going to put that up there for a second. And then what I've also done is I pre-cut some of these out anyway, but I used some nesting dies. So I've got 3 outers which I cut in the black, the same black I use on the card. And then I've also cut a slightly smaller version for each one. We've got the 3 centres. I'm going to mount those up now. I'm going to put this light pink wafer paper straight on top of the black. I've already pre-stamped the sentiment, and in fairness there are quite a lot of the sentiments that did fit inside this aperture, but I thought We're the Perfect Blend was quite good because there's 2 characters. It's almost like a couplet card. That's that one. I'm going to put this last little one on. There's another question there. Simon, are the owls in the set that doesn't have a background stamp? It's the same as the set. Are the owls in the set that doesn't have a background stamp in it the same as some of the set with the background stamp? Are they all different? I'm not getting that question, sorry. They all come with like quite a large background image in the bottom, and they're different per set, so they do vary. And then also on the back, the die is a different edging, so you can mix and match them. They will work together, but they're not the same. So hopefully that answers that question. But same again, if it doesn't answer your question, just drop me a message and I will. I'll have a better think and I'll get back to you. So on these here, then, I've got your 3 areas. I've done it this way. It kind of draws attention by putting that black border back around. So I'm going to mount these all up to give them more height. And then we're going to find them some characters then to make them pop. So on these bigger ones, make sure we don't put any foam pads on this side, but we'll stick it to this card. So I'm going to put my first one around there, and I'm going to put some more just to this side. And we'll pop that into place. It overhangs. And we'll do the same with this one. That overhangs as well. And then finally this little tiny one. We'll get some pads onto that. I want to put that one just there, I think. It just breaks that card up and it gives you a nice crisp image at the bottom, and then these areas we're going to put as characters on. So let's get as characters printed out. So I've got some watercolour paper, this one. I'll just get my stamping platform. Just an offcut of card I've got. I've got the one that's on like a little stack of books, and I've got the one that's quirky. It stands on one leg holding its cuppa. Plus, I think that cuppa's important, so we must have been having a bad morning. And we'll just open that up. Give them a good inking again. Good push down, make sure you get all that detail. If it does miss, so that's the beauty of this Eureka, isn't it? Or your stamping platforms, if you've got a different one. You can go back in just to make sure you're happy. I'm going to go in again. A good press down. There we go. And we'll just take those fellas out. So I think that's set anyway, so that should be fine. I'm going to bring in my watercolours again. And you can do this in Copics, you can even do it in pencil crayons. There were a lovely card made by, it's this one, so I'll just grab it for you. I think this is stunning, this one. It's really hard to see until you look quite close, but it's all been done in pencil crayon, which is a media I don't normally use, but I'm going to say it's encouraged me to try and get that kind of effect. Just think it's stunning. Put that back up there. Right, so let's get some colour onto these then. So I think we're going to go for a bit of bright colour. Let's do really pinky red owl. Make him really vibrant to pop with this card that we're doing. Just round top of his head. And you don't need too much detail with your colouring either, because there's loads of detail in these stamps. Especially with all the graining effect where the feathers are. That's fine. And then we're going to go in, let's have a bit of like a deep purple, I think. That goes nicely. Right on here. Let's make it a little bit more subtle. Going a little bit darker around his eyes to make them pop. I think he's had his first bit of caffeine by the looks of him. The lane says they were Imi oil pencils. Well, I've got to say that they're brilliant. I've got to say I've never had pencil crayons that work as well as them, so I might have to be investing some of them. They're the ones from Stamps by Me, aren't they, Elaine? I'll definitely might treat myself next week because it's my birthday. Okay, so let's give him a greedy hat. What I'm going to do is just leave like a white stripe through it, then it gives a bit of a curve into it without making it hard for yourself. And then we'll mix up some of this brown. So Sarah's got them pencils as well, but she's not used them yet. Oh, I feel like I'm late to a clubby. I think I need to go and get some. Let's get some of this brown on this little fella. Brown them bit. And then let's tone that down with a little bit of black to make a darker brown. And I can go around his eyes, look, just to lift them a bit more. I love these big eyes that these owls have got though. And then we'll just do his chest, look, to make that coffee cup pop. And then I think we should give him a really bright cup. Let's give him a bright yellow one. You can just do some yellow papers, look. Then we use a bit of that turquoise that we had. In fact, now I'm going to go for purple. We'll do this coffee cup to match. There you go. That's them two characters coloured in. So I'm going to give them a quick blast with the heat gun just so it doesn't... Oh, thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. I'm 21 again, honestly. There we go. And then we're just going to pop them through the die cut, so we'll bring my plates back in. I've got the first one there. I love this one on one leg. I think it's really quirky how it just looks like it's going to fall over. Let's get some. We'll make sure that lines it with. Here we go. Let's just pop those through so they're cut out. Yeah, I'm going to have a great birthday. I'm working all day, but I'm sure the girls at work will be treating me. We normally have a cake, that's the rule. There we go. Let's get our characters, move that out of the way. I know I don't look it, do I? 21. Let's get this out. There you go. So if I bring this back in, you can see that the dies really do a good job of getting them little areas. And I love this one though on the leg. I think it's brilliant. You could also put some glossy accents over their eyes on these. I think they'd also look really funny with wobbly eyes, but I couldn't find my wobbly eyes to try it, so I've got to say. So I might try another demo another time. So I'm going to put that little fella onto this one. So he's going to be framed by that hexagon that we've made. And I'm just going to get my scissors just so I can cut down a pad. Just to hold that coffee cup up really. And that little area there. And then I think we'll have him on the wonk there, look, holding his cuppa. And there you go, that's your second card, so move that one out of the way. You can see it's just a really easy way, just using your nesting dies, give a focal point. And I don't think I could have got better backing papers. I think it looks really nice, that. And the perfect blend. Two of the owls look like they're a couple. And you can see just by stamping them extra cups in on that confetti paper, it just really themes it with the card. So that's that one, and that's the round one that we did earlier. Just stand that there a second. So two completely different looks. Like I said, these are the ones that I was going to do on Create and Craft, but I think I over prepared with 4 demonstrations. I had no chance. But it's been lovely, and I hope you've enjoyed those 2 cards. I can't read all your comments, there's far too many, but Hazel says the one on one leg would be a great wobbler. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? I think, to be honest with you, they don't look quite crazy with like yellow eyes on wobblers. They look like they had too much caffeine. And then loads of comments from people saying they love the cars. That's lovely. So thanks very much for joining me this Monday, and I hope you've enjoyed that. And we'll see you next Monday, and we'll see you soon. All right, see you later. Bye.